started. All right. So this is semantics. We finished Unit 1 last week with a quiz, and today we start Unit 2. Unit 2 has to, the first unit had to do with compositional semantics, also known as truth condition, and this unit has to do with lexical semantics, meaning the analysis of meaning of individual words rather than a whole sentence. Okay. Regarding sentence, you have an assignment in the manual. It says that you need to go over your textbook, An Introduction to Language, and find out 3 different concepts. The concept of reference, the concept of referent, and the concept of sentence. So that would be up to you. Today we're going to see lexical semantics, and that has to do with, let me admit Jessica more. It has to do with the analysis of meaning at a word level. We're going to start with opposites, with antonyms. Before, in Unit 1, we covered synonyms. We're going to cover antonyms this time. And we study antonyms at school. It's not difficult. You know, they are just opposite words, right? What we're going to do at a university level then is we're going to see the classification of opposites. There are 3 types of antonyms, and those are the ones that we need to classify, okay? Everything is about taxonomy in semantics, about classification. So 3 types of antonyms then. The very first type is called complementary antonyms. Complementary. Let me write it down. We're in the chat section. It doesn't allow me to chat. Why? Because I'm recording. No. There it is. Okay, in the chat section, complementary antonyms. That's the first one. Complementary antonyms are words that are opposites of the other, of other words, and they are not. Yes, exactly as you hear. Words that are not. For example, the opposite of day is night. Night is not day. That's why they are complementary antonyms. Something that is closed is not open. The opposite of open is closed. What else? If an answer is correct, it means that it is not incorrect. The opposite of correct is incorrect, like this. If someone is alive, they are not dead. So alive and dead are complementary opposites or complementary antonyms. The second type of antonym is gradable. Gradable has to do with size, or it has to do with width, or things that can be measured. Okay. For example, something that is tall, the opposite of tall is short, but how short and how tall, we don't know. Okay. It's not clear cut as alive and dead. It's more measurable in comparison to what? For example, a dog is smaller than an elephant. An elephant is big, a dog is small. But if we have an ant next to the dog, then the ant is much smaller than the dog. So in that way, we call it gradable then. So let me write it down. Gradable antonym. And the third type of antonyms is relational, in the sense that there is a connection between the two parts. For example, teacher, student, father, son, perro, Olimpia, something like that. Yes, there is a connection, a relationship between the two parts. Yes. You could talk about complementary colors there. For example, the opposite of red is blue, something like that. Is it? I'm not sure about that. I'm not very good at colors. No? Aleja, you say no? No.
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. Forget about the color example then, because I'm not very good at that. All right. So 3 different types of antonyms. Okay. And you have exercises about antonyms at a university level in the manual. So please do the exercise. We're moving on to the next concept, the concept of hyperonyms. Okay, let me write it down again. Hyperonyms. Hyperonyms. Hyperonyms and hyponyms. The names are weird, but the concepts are super easy. Okay? Hyperonyms are just lexical sets, groups of words. Only that. They are groups of words. Okay? For example, I think if we play Tutti Frutti, that would be hyperonym. Okay? So if I say, for example, animal, animal is a hyperonym. And the hyponyms are whale, tiger, lion, dog, cat. The components of the group are called hyponyms. And then the title of the group is the hyperonym. Okay. Now, if I compare dog, cat, and lion, the 3 of them are co-hyponyms. Co-hyponyms. Like this. Because they are on the same level, right? They are all members of one group. Okay. The following concepts are holonym, and meronym. What are these? Well, they are the same thing, but the only difference is that they are related. For example, if the holonym is hand, the meronyms are fingers, nails, wrist, palm, etc. So the meronyms are the components of the group similar to the hyponyms. The only difference is that they are part of a whole. If I say tree, for example, my holonym is tree, then the meronym would be root, trunk, branch, leaves, fruit, flower, like this. Okay? So is there a clear difference between hyperonyms and holonyms? Super. No problem then. Okay.
No problem. No, mister.
Super, super, excellent.
Wait 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Meronyms are part of a whole tree, and you have the roots, the leaves, and stuff. And holonyms?
Holonyms is similar to hyperonyms. It's the title. It's the name of the group. The name of the group is tree. So that would be the holonym. And the part of the holonyms would be the meronym. Tree, root, leaf, etc.
Yeah. You got frozen. I received, I didn't hear you.
All right. So I'll repeat it then. The title of the group is the holonym, and the members of the group are the meronyms.
So the title would be the tree.
Yes, correct. Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, let's move on then.
Mr. Christoph,
Yes, yes, nice.
I would like to know what would be the main difference between those two groups, like hyperonyms and hyponyms, and allonyms and meronyms.
The main difference is that they are part of a whole. Holonyms and meronyms are always part of wholes, parts of something. For example, if I say animal, lion, tiger, whale, they are animals, but they are not related. But if I say parts of the house, and you say garden, garage, living room, they are connected. They are part of a house, right? So that would be meronyms, holonyms and meronyms.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Shall we move on then? Yes, next concept. The next concept is collocation. Collocation is words that go together. Okay, goes that work together. For example, in Spanish, we have lots of collocations. When we have expressions, for example, no veo la de irme a jugar. No veo la de irme a jugar. What would be the word?
Hora.
Hora, yes.
Ahora.
No ver la hora. Hora goes together with no veo. Okay, we always use that. José se va a casar. What's the next word? Rosa. José se va a casar. Rosa. What's the next word after casar?
Con.
Con. Very good. It's the same in English. José is getting married.
With.
No,
Two.
no, with.
Two.
To.
Two.
In
With
English, it's
or
different. In
to.
English, you get married to someone. So the collocation is getting married to, not getting married with. See? Collocation is super important then. Which word collocates with which word? Okay, that is extremely important in languages. Yeah. For example, one person said, "I'm sorry I am late. I got stuck in a traffic marmalade."
Traffic jam.
Right. He chose the wrong word. He chose a synonym. Instead of jam, he said marmalade, which are synonyms, but they do not collocate. Traffic goes with jam, not with marmalade. Yeah? Like that. So you have an exercise on, two exercises on collocation in the manual. Do that. Next concept is retronym. Retronyms are current words. Are current words that in the past, how to explain? They are current words that if we use those words in the past, they would have been redundant. But now they are not redundant. Okay. So these words from the past were used in a specific way. Now we use the same word in a different way. If we move these current expressions in that time, then they would have been redundant. For example, when I say, for example, silent movie, I need to say silent movie because In the past, movies were silent, but nowadays we have talking movies. Yeah? So I need to specify. But if at the time of Charles Chaplin, for example, you said silent movie, that would have been redundant because that was the only type of movie that existed at that time. That is called a retronym. If I say, for example, soap bar, a soap bar, in the past, that was the only thing that existed. Now we have liquid soap, we have powder soap. Yes. So if we transfer these current expressions into the past, they would have been redundant. That is a retronym. Is it clear? Do you want me to provide more examples of something like that? Can you identify? Can you identify the retronym? Are we okay? Should I continue? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Then we go into homonyms and polysemies. What are homonyms? Homonyms are words with multiple meanings. For example, the word rock. The word rock means a stone. The word rock also means an action of rocking, like this, doing this, to rock. Yeah. It's also a type of music. So the same word rock means many different things. That's called a homonym. Homonym. Now, there is another concept, polysemy. What is polysemy? One word with multiple meanings. But I just said that. I said that homonyms were one word with multiple meanings. And now I say that polysemy is one word with multiple meanings. There must be a difference, isn't it? Yes, there is a difference. The definition of polysemy is one word with multiple related meanings. Multiple related meanings. Okay. For example, and I'm going to write it down, the foot of the mountain. What does this expression mean? The foot of the mountain. The foot of the mountain. Do mountains have feet? Okay, anyone? Can anyone explain what it means?
Maybe it's base.
Yes, correct. The base part of the mountain. Yes, Christina. So, similarly to our feet that are our basis, let's say, our foundation, the same happens with mountains. So there is a connection, there is something similar there, and that makes it makes the word or the concept be a polysemy instead of a homonym. Okay. Another one is the face of the clock. The face of the clock, because clocks have faces, yeah, similar to us. Also, clocks have hands too, because they point, right? So that's why they are called polysemous words, because of the connection between them. Hands of a clock. That's polysemy. While in homonyms, there is no connection. Like rocking like this and rock stone, there is no connection at all. It's just multiple meanings of a word. So that's the difference between homonyms and polysemy. Next concept, homophone. Homophone. Homophones, words which are spelled differently but pronounced identically. Words pronounced pronounced identically but spelled differently. Okay. For example, meat and meat. I and I. Where and where. These words are spelled differently, but they are pronounced identically. They are called homophones. Homo meaning the same, phone meaning sound, same sound. Last concept. Yay! Cognate. Cognates are words which share the same origin. For example, the word pizza or taxi are shared by most languages. Pizza comes from Italian. Taxi, I don't know. I don't know the etymology of taxi. But notice that these words are cognate. Cognate means similar. And they are used in these languages. These, pizza and taxi, are examples of total cognate. Okay? Because they are identical. They could be identical or very similar. For example, the word atom and the Spanish word átomo, they are very similar in meaning and in shape. So we can say that they are examples of total cognate. Same root, same origin, same meaning. Now, there are also examples of partial cognate. And this would be, example would be uncle. The word uncle is translated tío in Spanish, isn't it? But the word tío in Spanish has a broader meaning than in English. In English, uncle means my mother's or father's brother, and that would be it. But in Spanish, tío means that, but also, it also means any guy, a person. In Spain, for example, you will say un tío, right? But it also means your parents' friends. Your parents' close friends are usually your tío also. Even though you're not related, we call them tío. Also, canillitas call you tío or maestro or whatever, but they call you like that. So notice that the meaning of tío in Spanish is much more wider than in English. And therefore, we cannot say that these are examples of total cognate, but partial ones. Okay. Another example is professor. A professor in English is a university teacher. That's a professor. But profesor in Spanish could be primary, secondary, university, whatever. Okay, professor is much wider. The use of professor is much wider in Spanish than in English. So partial cognate. And finally, we have false cognate, also known as false friend. These words also share the same origin, but they mean very different things. 10 minutes to finish. Okay, they mean different things, right? Let's start with Guarani and Spanish, for example. The Guarani word letrado means vivísimo, un vivo. But the Spanish word letrado means someone who reads many books. Okay. So the meaning is totally different. So it's a false cognate then, because they look similar, but they mean different things. Another one would be what was it? Ahora. Ahora. Ahora means now in Spanish. But in Guarani, it means like surprise, something, or emphasis, like ahora y ya, like that. When they say ahora, it's not now, it means something else. Yeah? It's like wow, something like that. Okay. Now in English and in Spanish, the same happens. For example, we have the word carpet in English. The very first thing that a Spanish speaker thinks is, oh, it means carpeta, right? But it doesn't. Yes. And then we have the word actual. Actual does not mean actual. And then we have, what else? Embarrass. Yes. Embarrass does not mean embarazada. Yes. Assist does not mean asistir. Attend does not mean atender. See? So these are examples of false cognates because they look similar, but they mean different things. You have lots and lots of exercises to do based on these concepts. Okay? So if you have issues, remember, watch the concept again. This is being recorded. What I always need to do is upload the recording on the platform because that's missing. But anyway, I need to have all of them. Please do the practice exercise. We always have the WhatsApp group, so feel free to write questions, doubts, etc., etc. in the group, and I will try to upload the answers to the exercises as well, so that you can check them. Okay. Any questions? Any comments before I leave?
No, Mister.
No, mister, it's okay.
Brilliant class. Brilliant students. Very good. See you next week then. Goodbye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Stop recording. Stop it. Come on.